Okay, hi guys. So today we're doing a little mini lab, and this mini lab is essentially trying to verify that 1 mole of GADdy gas is actually 22.4 liters. So what we're going to do here is we're going to measure a gas. Okay, we're going to see if we actually do get the correct amount, volume-wise, of a gas. So we have to be able to measure its volume, and we're also going to measure its mass. Okay, now both of these are pretty tricky. So what we're going to do is we're going to produce carbon dioxide using these little Alka-Seltzer tablets right here. And so if I take a little Alka-Seltzer tablet and I put it in some water, I got a little bit of water in this test tube here, it starts producing carbon dioxide. Okay. Now in order to actually capture this gas, that's what this setup here is for. What I have going on here is a graduated cylinder that's filled with water. Okay. And it's completely filled up with water, and I've got it overturned in a bucket of water. So if I take this gas and I funnel it here, that's being created, it's coming out. If I funnel it here into this little setup, stick it right in there, you can see I'm actually capturing the carbon dioxide gas. So that is the point of how to actually capture the gas. And since it's a graduated cylinder, we'll be able to actually measure how much gas we create here. Okay, so let me walk you through just kind of how to set this up and actually get some good data from this. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do is take this bucket here, which you'll find at all the lab stations around the room. Fill it with water about to the line, but maybe about halfway or so up with water. And then you're also going to take this graduated cylinder and fill it up mostly full with water as well. Now, you actually want to get it all the way to the very tippy top, unlike I have right here. You want all the way to the tip, almost overflowing. So one tip I have for you, since it's hard to move it once you actually get up there, that is my dog, by the way, that's squeaking, playing with a dog toy, but is to just take another beaker or glass or something like that and just add some water to it. And once you actually get over here, what you want to do is just top it all the way off so it is absolutely, positively full, okay? Almost overflowing. And then you're going to take your hand and you're going to put it on there and you're going to seal it off. And then you're going to flip it just like that. Okay, and once you get it in the water, you can remove your hand. Okay, now you don't want there to be any air up here. So if you see any bubbles come up here, once you actually flip it, you're going to have to try again. All right, so all I have to do to try again, for example, if I flip it, there's a big bubble there. Okay, you don't want any bubbles there. So all you have to do is flip it back over, top it off again, basically get it overflowing, get a good seal with your palm, and flip. Once your hand's under there, remove your hand, and there won't be any air up here, okay? So that's how you get this graduated cylinder to be upside down, filled with water, all right? Now, in order to get the tube ready, you got a stopper, and you got a little tube here. You got to take the stopper and put it in the tube. Okay, and the way to do this is just kind of give it a little push, maybe a little twist. All right, should go in there relatively easy. Okay, just like that. And then we want to kind of get this ready. And this is where it's going to take 2 people because somebody's going to have to hold this once you actually put this thing in there. Okay, so all you want to do is take this little thing here and just slide it underneath. So it's actually going to have the gas go into your graduated cylinder, and then you're going to have somebody just stand here and hold it. So it's going to take 2 people, one person to kind of hold this while the other person does the other things, okay? Now, the other things, make sure your hands are dry because you don't want to react to any of the Alka-Seltzer before you're ready, okay? But what you're going to do is you're going to take a test tube, put just a little bit of water in there, maybe about a quarter full. You don't want too much because otherwise it'll bubble up and overflow. So just a little bit of water. And then I've just got a beaker here just to kind of hold it up so it sits upright so I don't have to hold it the whole time. And then you have your Alka-Seltzer tablet. Now this is what you're starting with, okay? The Alka-Seltzer tablet with the water, that's what's reacting. You want to get the weight of everything that I'm holding, okay? You want to get the weight of everything. Throw it all on the scale. Measure the weight of the test tube, the beaker that's holding the test tube, the water in the test tube, and the tablet, everything I'm holding here, needs to go on the scale. Okay? Okay, so you have your Alka-Seltzer tablet, and you have your test tube with a little bit of water in it, about a quarter full. You've measured the weight of all of these. Make sure you got that written down before beginning. And then what you're going to do, this is going to take 2 hands, or 2 people, just because. So, hold on. Got this all set up with the little end of the tube in it. Got it ready to go, and it is very difficult to do this one-handed, but I'm going to try. So I'm going to take my Alka-Seltzer tablet, I'm going to drop it in there to start the reaction, and then cap it off as fast as I possibly can. Okay? Ready? So drop it and cap it. Now, as soon as it starts reacting, you can see that it is going out of the tube, the carbon dioxide, and going into the graduated cylinder, like so, and filling it up. I can actually set this down here. It's a nice little holder. Just make sure that's sealed. And you go until the bubbles stop. Probably going to take a few minutes. Okay, so eventually it's going to get down to very few bubbles, and you're going to be like, is it done? Is it done? One tip is if you give it a little bit of a shake, it'll react a little bit quicker, and you'll get a few more bubbles per second, speeding it up here as it gets done. So, but you want there to be absolutely no more bubbles coming out. Okay? Okay, once you don't have any more bubbles coming out, what I want you to do here, you can just go ahead and unpop it. And you're going to take your final measurements. Okay, so you've got your beaker and your test tube with the water in it. Now it's got whatever leftover Alka-Seltzers in there as well. Go ahead and weigh that and get a final measurement. It should weigh less than what you started with, probably about 1 gram less, because that looks like about 1 gram or so of carbon dioxide-ish here in my thing. So it's probably going to be about 1 gram. That's the weight of the carbon dioxide, the difference from what you started and what you ended with, okay? Because all that carbon dioxide went into here. Now, to measure this, remember that this is upside down. All you're doing is measuring the volume. So we'll zoom in here. You're measuring the gas, not the water. You're measuring the gas. So essentially you have to like tilt your head upside down and kind of read it. This is 0 all the way up here. So that is 150, 200. So I'm going to say that I have about 150, 200. So that's 175, 180, a little more than 185 or so. 187, okay, milliliters. Okay, so that's how much gas I produce there. Okay, so what you're going to turn in is you're going to have a sheet of paper, and I want you to have your before measurement of the mass, the after measurement of the mass, and then subtract them to find your CO2. Okay, so that's going to measure the mass, right, of the CO2. Then you're going to have your measurement of the volume here in milliliters. You're going to have to convert that into liters. Remember, there's 1,000 milliliters in a liter. Okay, and then what I want you to do is take the mass of carbon dioxide that you actually had here, and do the math, figure out how many moles that is, and then figure out what volume it should take up with our 1 mole equals 22.4 liters conversion. Okay, and then compare those two numbers. Did you actually get how much gas you were supposed to here in your graduated cylinder? Okay, and if you didn't, or maybe you got close to it, see if you can explain why it might be different, right? So go ahead and write all that down on a piece of paper, and if you have to, you can rewatch this video to review specific instructions, okay?